public meeting for the budget hearing is now open. No public, any discussion that we need to do?
Well, somebody's gaslit us.
That's more evidence about how important the budget is.
As soon as I hit that, I thought, oh, somebody left these lights on. As soon as I hit it, I thought, oh, no, wait, those are both.
And this is probably for discussion during the regular meeting.
That
right?
is for discussion during the regular
Okay.
meeting. Yeah, well, unless you have something you have to ask me about.
Well, I was only going to ask about the lawn care and landscaping at 9,000 because it looked like just this last month we spent 3,000 on that. And is that so seasonal that that was just a one-time a year sort of expenditure that 9,000 is enough?
What had happened is we have Daniel Landscape comes and does the perimeter of the building. And then we have Hodges Property Management do the mowing. And Thor had asked if he could trim up the trees that he has to mow around so they could get under the limbs. And so I approved that. So we actually had 2 big projects in the month that hit us. I believe 9,000 is more than adequate.
Okay.
Is there anything else we need to do or wait a certain amount of time? Well, then we go ahead and close the budget meeting and we will open up the regular Board of Trustees meeting. And the first thing would be the minutes. Is everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
I did, and I would move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We're done with the minutes. Director's report. Friends of the library.
Alrighty. And of course, I forgot the Friends minutes, but that's okay. They are going to go to try to have sales every other month. And I believe the next sale they're going to have is on Thursday, October 4th. So we're going to see how those are going to go. And I'll keep you apprised as we move forward with that. So. And just as a note, the night that Laurel started at the library, you facilitated the meeting as president.
I saw
So
that.
we've just gone full circle there.
I was getting ready to get off at that time.
So I don't know if you have any questions. The Adult Services Librarian, Katie Southern, is going to start on Monday, October 1st. That will be her first day. We're looking forward to having her here. I'm sure Janelle Graber is probably ready to throttle me because that would have been the second employee I've taken from Ettrick Public Library. But if they didn't have such great staff, I guess I wouldn't do it. So I'm really looking forward to Katie being here. As you know, I'll be leaving for the conference tonight. I will not be here tomorrow or Friday. I'll be back on Monday. Boilers, we actually had an incident on Monday where it was really cold in the building and I couldn't figure out why. And I went and looked at boiler number 1 and it was off, so I went to reset it. When I reset it, it locked me out. And as you know, boiler 2 is not working because of the regulator issue. So it was a little chilly here on Monday. They came out on Tuesday and discovered the rod inside that must hold the flame has rusted out because of our issue. He didn't have a rod in his vehicle, however, he was able to clean up the current rod, put it back in place, and knock on wood, so far it's been running. I did request, I said, you guys have to do whatever you can to make sure we have a second boiler going into the winter. I really don't want to go with one boiler heading into the winter. So I'm staying on top of it the best I can, but you know what kind of luck we've been having, so we'll see. We'll see.
Mary, did you say, so they're both working right now?
No, they
Oh,
just,
number 2 is still not.
number 2 is not working.
Okay, so the rusty rod was in.
Boiler number 1.
Oh, okay.
The budget, I wanted to let you know when I met with Michelle Rogers, I'm so glad we meet with DLGF. What happened was there was an error when I did the debt service, and I'll have to show you sometime. It shows the payments that you make, but it's on a big graph, and if your bifocals aren't on straight, you can press on the wrong box, which is what I did. So when she went through, we discovered my error, and we fixed that, but that made the debt service payment go up $2,500. So I know that's a discrepancy from what I showed you last month. The other thing is I did talk to Mike about, not Mike you, Mike Luby-Houston, about the boiler project and how much money I actually had, available, and you can't go over this amount, and he had wanted me to go over 10,000. I said, no, I can't. It has to be this number. And he came back with me and he said, okay, that's a fine number. But I went ahead and we're basically spending all the $35 out of our rainy day account. So I'm letting you know that. So I made an adjustment for that. So on the report, you see where we have the operating budget, the rainy day budget, the debt service, the total amount that we need to run the library. And then I'm showing you where our miscellaneous revenues and our property tax are projected. We're going to be okay, I believe, on the operating budget, but we're pretty much right on the money for the debt service. So just FYI on that. All right, any questions about that or the budget? Okay. Building issues. Where's Donna? There he is. Remember that area? Remember when we had a little bit of a leak in the air handler, where the air handler one is? And you and I went out there and we looked, and I thought the decorative stone had been stolen, but sure enough, it looked like the ground was shifting. If it's still light out when we're done, and I'm hoping it is, take a look. It's a lot worse. It's a lot worse. So I went ahead and called Wygen. They're really busy right now, but just for them to come out and give me their best guess, because they're the people that did the work on what is going on. So.
Find out if they put a perimeter tile around there. So I'll look at it.
Okay, so FYI, there's another building issue we need to resolve.
Everybody bring their shovels.
I did meet with Donna Holland for the Center of Social Research, and the quote that they gave, and this would be for a mailing, and I believe the number they're looking at is 700. I know they would have to mail to more than 700, but the $23,000 is just way more than I can possibly afford for our library. I had hoped we could get some assistance from the other two library systems and then from a foundation. But as I understand it, with conversation with at least one foundation executive director, it's unlikely they would.
Was that DECO?
So.
What you spoke with, or was it September?
So,
Well,
she didn't say no.
I
but
couldn't help
she-
but notice your new adult services person has a background in grant writing.
I did
And I
notice
thought,
that
well,
too.
she's starting October 1st, that she might investigate that.
Yes, yes.
That was my note.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that's my suggestion.
Anyways, I still think it's important for us to get feedback from people that live in Whitley County, but it's just not a project we're gonna try to do now. It's gonna have to wait. Primary engineering, the day I signed the contract, no, the day I paid Ben for the roof is the same day I got the go-ahead from John Whiteleather to sign the contract for primary engineering. So, yay for the one project we got done, and now we're on to the next one. Robotics program at Willie County Consolidated Schools has just taken off. She's gonna be everywhere. When she sent me her email letting me know where she was gonna be, she just said, I'll miss you, I'll be gone for 9 months. And I think that's about right. So I'm really, really happy about that. As you know, the roof is done. Staff Development Day was fantastic.
And no leaks anywhere.
And no leaks
The heavy
anywhere.
rains that we had, nothing.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. So, Staff Development Day was wonderful. We had a great turnout. It was just such a positive day. The poverty simulation was just really a great exercise. So it was really a good day. You got the email from Dave Smith regarding the interest paid on the account that we moved over, so you know where we are with that. And then with Beth being so busy, I'm gonna be taking over the technology competency, the training and the testing. starting in 2019. So I'll be doing that.
That's the employee.
Employee technology, yeah. And then, of course, thank you, Laurel, for her many years of service. I should have asked at the beginning, but I have two things that I'd like to cover. One of them is the policy manual, the changes we want to make, and approval on the policy manual. And then the other one is, since Laurel's leaving, we need somebody to serve as vice president until December, when we can have a new slate of officers elected for 2019. So I'll have Greg go over the policy stuff right now, if that's okay. Is everybody okay?
All right, we just sent some excerpts from the policy manual, and the changes that are being proposed and have been approved by the committee are shown in red. So starting on the first page would be under unattended children. This one may have been my suggestion, I can't remember.
It was either you or Chris.
I thought it was.
Oh, it was you.
I thought it was important to clarify that everybody has a duty under state law to report suspected neglect or abuse of children. And that if the circumstances appear to suggest some sort of neglect, that I thought was fair to put in the policy that we will comply with state law and make those reports as appropriate. So that's why that line got stuck in there. The second page, which is page 11, I guess that was page 9, this is page 11. This was another one of mine. State law, about 5 or 6 years ago, I can't remember exactly what it was altered such that local parks and libraries could not restrict one's use of, or one's possession of firearms, open carry, to bring them on premises in any way, shape, or form, and even created pretty substantial penalties. Yes, it's a strange thing, but that is what happened. In addition to most of the local the municipalities having to change their ordinances which used to restrict firearm possession, this was here. It technically could be explained by saying, well, we meant knives and things like that. And then we thought about trying to put some other equivocation about you should not misuse firearms while on the premises, and every alternative that was suggested seemed to dig us deeper into a weird hole that we didn't want to be in. So I had just advised that we just remove this. We don't need to remind anybody that state law technically allows you to walk in with guns all over your body if you really want to, but it does. And so this, however, no longer restricts any event that there would be some argument about that. Again, municipalities were contacted by third-party organizations who were threatening lawsuits and whatnot. I just thought maybe clear that we're not touching that. That is another one of mine, sorry. Again, anytime I tried to put anything else in to replace it, it just seemed to cause more problems. Page 12, the active shooter is a whole brand new section. This follows staff attendance at the local at Columbia City's active shooter training, which I had also attended but at a different time, and basically is based on the acronym that they use, which I think is ADD, avoid, deny, and defend, and noting that there is a plan in place in the event that we have an active shooter incident. Its juxtaposition with what I just talked about is purely coincidental, I promise. But that is what happens. So those
I thought you were just going straight to like an active shooter from that.
No, it actually, even as it was coming out of my mouth, I thought, no, technically those two things just happen to fall that direction. But both are signs, I guess, of the world we live in today. And I will be welcome to answer any questions about why those recommendations are being made, or Mary may be able to assist. But I know, like I said, as to two of those, that my suggestions. So I'll go ahead.
Do we need a motion to adopt that tonight?
Yes.
Is there a discussion of that?
So I'll make a motion to adopt the changes as, the policy as presented.
I'll second. Barring further discussion, everybody that is in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Then the vice presidency, how do you want to take care of that? Is that something?
Well, I don't know, you're presiding president, do you want to assign it to somebody? Or do you want to take volunteers, however you want to handle it? It's only for October, November, and December.
It's already not officer.
Yeah,
That's your choice.
well, Tony's an officer,
It gets down to,
I'm not.
it gets down to the three of us pretty
Yeah.
quick.
yeah,
It-
yeah.
it'll get down to- I know he does, because Don and I have been very careful when we're nominating other people to do these things. So it got down there very quickly.
Run out, close the door behind us.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, are we going to do that to
No.
death? I don't think
If no one else is willing to do that, I would be glad to
My term
volunteer to do
hasn't
that
begun
for
I
you.
don't care either way. If Greg wants it, that's fine.
You're a great one.
I want it. I want it.
I could tell.
So I will put my name into consideration.
Does that need a vote or anything?
I think so, yes, I believe so.
Well, all in favor, well, we have to have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Seconded by anybody?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a landslide.
Don is just enjoying the fact that he thinks I'm still gonna try to weasel out of the bigger picture. I'm thinking they'll do 3 months here. We'll see.
Before we get too far
See
away
how it goes.
on the building issue, you had 2 leaks.
Oh, those weren't leaks, they were water damage.
You can see one from here, we think it's an internal hole. See a little spot
Yeah,
there?
I see it, I see it.
And then the other one is the display case adjacent to the outside wall over by the periodical room. It's up on the ceiling of that. It just looks like, to me, it looks like water damage. So I had Mark just, take care of
That
it.
could be from running your air conditioning.
Well, it could be condensation, I think about that, it could be
You've
condensation.
never
Well,
had it
condensation.
before, but it's been really easy.
When did they get done with the roof? How long's it been?
That's a long way.
Have we been through some pretty good rain since then?
Mhm.
No-
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've not seen any leaks with the roof.
Great.
Something we ought to look at, when you have air conditioning, you have runs going
Mhm.
different ways, I don't know where the drains are. Sometimes they'll get plugged up and then backs up.
The backflow was leaking in the boiler room a couple months ago, and we did have that taken care of. So I don't, but you're right, and Mark said he'd look at it a little closer. I don't know if we can get up.
There's no
probably
ceiling,
get up
are
and get
ceiling
the
tile in there? or not?
Yeah, there's ceiling tiles.
So we can lift it and look up.
Yeah, look over on home.
Anything else with the director's reports or discussion, old new business? Any claims?
How come our gas went up so much? That's-
Our gas went down.
It's kind of bounced around.
Well, see, that wasn't running, and I don't know how long it wasn't running, that could play into it, but it went down, it was 266.
Well, last year it was like 46.90.
46.90.
Well, it's
That was
because the meter on it was broken.
Oh, that's right, look at the prior years.
Okay.
If you look at the other years,
Yeah, I did.
you
I
can
just
see
wondered
where
why.
that, yeah, though the meter went out. So, yeah, we were getting gas for pretty inexpensive, yeah. Especially when.
So it did go up.
Due to the meter again.
Any other discussion or questions?
Move to approve the claims.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? The claims are approved. There's got to be something else.
No, we're good.
You want a good head start.
We're good.
She wants-
No, I just, because I've been hurrying us along, it's like, you guys didn't eat any cake yet, so.
We should welcome Beth, though.
Oh,
I mean,
we
that-
should welcome Beth.
We're glad to have you here.
Welcome, Beth.
That's updated, oh, thanks.
It's nice to see you somewhere else.
I know. It's like that.
It's okay.
the news stuff.
That's a more updated one than I gave you, so
Oh,
you guys
okay.
could see how many people have viewed you and how many minutes they've watched the board meetings. So,
Do you need a motion to adjourn?
yeah.
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
We jumped on that one.
Well, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I won't even say it.
We're done.
We're done.